Hello. Okay, you ready for step 2 of making bread? We're gonna make our dough. So our starter has been rising beautifully. I fed it a few hours ago. And if you wanna see, this is what it should look like. It's starting to bubble. That's a great, like, look at that, that literally just popped. That's a great sign that it's a nice healthy starter. It's starting to bubble. It's also grown like 3 times. It was down here, so now it's really triple the size. So it's ready to make bread. So I am going to use my KitchenAid mixer. You can also use a heavy bowl, like a casserole dish or something, to make your dough, whatever you prefer. I like using my KitchenAid because I have a dough hook that I can use. If you don't have a KitchenAid or a dough hook, you can also use a regular spoon or one of these fun Danish hooks, or I don't know, spoon, whatever it's called. Either way, doesn't matter. But I'm gonna use this for right now. Okay, so I turn on my scale. I'm going to put this bowl on here. I'm gonna zero it out. And you measure out 100 grams of starter, okay? So for 1 loaf of bread, you want 100 grams of starter. I'm gonna just give this a little stir. You see it's starting to, like, it's just nice and sticky. It's got that great texture, whatever you wanna call it, consistency. And 100 grams is like 1 big glop, but we're gonna measure out exact. Maybe 2 big glops. Sleepy gloopies. Okay. And that was a little bit too much. All right, and then for this next part, I'm going to do my flour. It's the same flour I use to feed my starter, which is the King Arthur. I get it at Costco, and like I said before, I think it's just amazing. I love it. I've heard it's the best, and I haven't tried anything else. I did try the organic ones. I couldn't taste the difference, but yeah, that's what I use. So that's what this looks like, okay? So we're gonna use 500 grams of flour. I already measured that out. I just want to show you the consistency here. So here's 500 grams of flour. Okay. Just dump it in there. And then you're gonna do 350 grams of water. I use filtered water for my sink. You want it to be just room temperature, not cold, not really hot. Some people say they want warm. I just use room temperature. But just filtered water, you do 350 grams. Pour that in. And then I also measured out 10 to 20 grams of salt. This is 15 grams right now. So I pour that in, and I'm gonna show you the consistency that you want. You don't want it to be over mixed. You want it basically just quickly stirred together. I think it's about, well, look at it started here. Like 30 seconds on here, probably, not too long. And like I said before, when you get starter down your sink, you're gonna wanna run your disposal, which I'll do in a minute. Here, it's gonna be loud, so I won't do it while we're making this video, because you don't want the starter or the dough to get clunked in your drain. So you're gonna wanna rinse that out. But you mix this up. Now, once I'm done mixing this, I'm gonna put a towel over it, probably a bigger one than this. I'm gonna leave it on there, and I'm gonna stretch the dough, kind of like a pizza, okay? So like this is the dough. I'm gonna like lift it up, it's gonna be all sloppy, and you just pull it like it's a pizza dough, like that. I'm gonna do that 3 or 4 times every 20 minutes. So that's the stretching process. You don't have to knead it or anything. You just literally stretch it. And then once you're done with your stretching, it'll take about an hour to do that. About 3 to 4 times. You keep the towel on top overnight, and you just let it sit on your counter, and then I'll show you in the next video how you bake it. So I'm gonna quick show you what this looks like. This is done. So there you go, a nice beautiful dough, and I will be stretching it. You'll see as you stretch it, it kind of breaks down the gluten and it's gonna get nice and more smooth as you go. So there you go, now you have your dough.